Now, Russia says territory under YPG control in northern Syria should be given to the Assad regime. The comment was made as President Trump prepares to pull U.S. forces out of Syria and while Turkey delays an operation against the YPG terror group east of the Euphrates River. Turkey's foreign and defense ministers, as well as the country's intelligence chief, will head to Russia on Saturday to discuss the situation. Well, for more, I'm joined now live in the studio by Yusuf Erim. He is TRT World's Turkey analyst. Thanks so much for coming in. So, I mean, it's not surprising because Russia has long said that the endgame for Syria is to essentially hand control of the country back to what Russia believes is its rightful leader. How much will Turkey agree to?
Now, Presidents Erdogan and Putin meet monthly, sometimes numerous times a month. They probably meet together more than any other duo in world politics. And President Erdogan likes to take multilateral decisions. And when you look at Turkey's previous operations, Operation Euphrates Shield and Operation Olive Branch in Afrin against the YPG, both of these operations happened in Russian airspace. But Turkey was able to use their air force to provide support to their ground troops. So this means that Russia was on board with both operations. Now, when we look at that, I can expect that they will reach a deal east of the Euphrates, allowing Turkey to use its air force to support its ground troops and solve its national security problems. So I don't think there's going to be a problem reaching a deal. Now, when we also look at the Astana process that brought Turkey, Russia, and Iran together, why did these countries come together? They came together because they had a shared interest, keeping Syria together in one piece. This is very important. We look at YPG's announcements dating back a month, 2 months ago. They were talking about a confederation. They were talking about autonomy. Now, you don't hear the word autonomy anymore. Now they're trying to find ways to cut a deal with Assad, cut a deal with Russia. So it's actually in Russia's favor to limit the YPG from breaking away from Syria in the future. And after all, maybe Turkey might not agree with handing this land over to Assad, but Turkey has always stressed the territorial integrity of Syria, and Turkey, after a proper constitutional committee process and maybe free and fair elections in late 2019 or 2020, will hand this land back to Syria.
Okay, because we have to be clear that Turkey doesn't want to occupy or annex any parts of Syria in itself.
Right now, all Turkey wants is to protect its national security. That's very important. And it has no desire, it doesn't have the capability even to hold this land for years and years. So it would be too much of a strain on the military, it would be too much of a strain financially. But what is important to Turkey is rebuilding this area, making sure it's fully functional, and returning the 3.5 million Syrian refugees inside the country to their rightful home.
Exactly. So what could potentially happen to the YPG once it is pushed out of the border areas in northern Syria? I mean, could it potentially reintegrate with Syrian national forces?
Like I said before, the YPG was originally, from their comments coming out of the SDF and the YPG, they wanted autonomy. Now that they fear a Turkish operation, it looks like they're making calls to the regime, trying to cut a deal with them for protection, reaching out to France, reaching out to Russia. So that whole trying to break away from Syria is now off the table. When we look at the YPG historically and their mother organization, the PKK, which is a listed terror group by the US, EU, and Turkey, within their formation, a very critical player, Bashar al-Assad's father, Hafiz Assad. He was very important in the formation of the PKK, a group that he used to keep and pressure Turkey in the past. So they have historical links. It's not a surprise for the YPG to now come running to Assad after they tried to make a play for their own land, saying, hey, help us out. So I wouldn't be surprised if they cut a deal with the regime. They have historical links to them, and it's probably likely going to happen. And it's a sad thing to see a U.S. coalition partner, the second America thinks about stepping out, run right to the regime before American forces have even withdrawn. It should go to show the United States what kind of partner they were working with.
Okay, Yusuf, we'll leave it there. Thanks so much for coming in.